So today we're going to be talking about lateral epicondylitis, also known as tennis elbow. This occurs when an overuse of the extensor muscles in the forearm leading to pain and inflammation right here on the lateral epicondyle. So there are three bones involved in the elbow: is the humerus, then the radius and ulna, and then where it connects, where the radius and ulna connect to the humerus, there are two epicondyles, two bony prominences called epicondyles, the medial and the lateral. Today we're going to be talking about the lateral. So the lateral involves the wrist extensors and finger extensors of the forearm, and two main deficits that you would find with people with lateral epicondylitis: pain and weakness. And two prime movers that we're going to be talking about today are the extensor carpi radialis brevis and the extensor digitorum. So first range of motion exercises that we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing our wrist extension and finger extension. So for wrist extension, we're going to be palpating for the little groove where the capitate is located right here, and that will be our axis point. And the stationary arm will be on the dorsal aspect of the forearm, of the midline of the forearm, and the movement arm will be on the third metacarpal, the dorsal side of the third metacarpal. So we will have the client come in neutral, palpating for that little groove right here. Then we'll have the client come up just like this. And normal range for that is 0 to 90 degrees. And then for the second range of motion exercise, we're going to be doing finger extension. So the axis will be on I'm going to use the third metacarpal here because the extensor digitorum extends the 2 through 5 digits. So the axis will be on the third metacarpal. The stationary arm will be on the dorsal side of the third metacarpal, and the movement arm will be on the proximal phalanx. So I'm going to have the client come in neutral once again and place my axis right here, and then I'm going to have the client come up in wrist extension, finger extension, just like that. And normal range for that is 0 to 80. And then two MMT tests we will do with the client are the Cozen test and the Mosley's test. The Cozen test involves palpating for the lateral epicondyle right here, and it will be testing wrist extension for the extensor carpi radialis brevis. So for this, we're going to have the client come in neutral, going to have their arm at 90 degrees with the towel to reduce friction. And I'm going to have the client radially deviate because the extensor carpi radialis brevis is on the thumb side of the forearm. So I'm going to have them come like this, and then I'm going to have them come up in extension. And if they can do this, I immediately know they're a 3. So I will secure the forearm while palpating for the extensor carpi radialis brevis right here. You can also palpate back here for the tendon, so the lateral epicondyle. So if they can come up, they're a 3 with gravity. So I will secure the forearm, secure the wrist, and then apply minimal resistance, which is a 3+, and then a little more than minimal is a 4-, then moderate is a 4, and then maximum resistance is a 5. But if the client can't do that, I will have them come like this, radially deviate once again, and then come up in wrist extension while still palpating for that extensor carpi radialis brevis. And if they can do it with full range with a little resistance, they're a 2+. If they can do it with full range, they're a 2. If they can't do it with full range, they're a 2-. If they have a little flicker of muscle right here, then they're a 1. And if they can't do it at all, they're a 0. So the second test is the Mosley's test, and this will be examining the finger extension. So same thing, I'm going to have the client come up in neutral with the towel to reduce friction, have their arm at 90, and I'm going to secure the hand while palpating for the extensor digitorum, which is right here. And once I see the client can do this in neutral while resisting gravity, I know they're automatically a 3. If they can do it with minimal resistance applied, which will be on the proximal phalanx, then they're a 3+. If they can do a little bit more than that, they're a 4-. If they can do moderate resistance, they are a 4+, and if they can do maximal, they are a 5. So for this one, once again, if they can't do it with gravity, then I'm gonna have them come in this position right here while still keeping their arm at 90. Then I'm gonna have them come to wrist extension, finger extension once again, and while still palpating for the extensor digitorum. And if they can do it full range in this position with minimal resistance, then they're a 2+. If they can do full range without minimal resistance, then they're a 2. And if they can't do full range, then they are a 2-. And if there is a little flicker of movement, then they are a 1. And if they can't do it at all, they are a 0.